All right, well, welcome. My name is Tiffany Brutus. I serve as the secretary for the JMU Black Alumni Chapter. I'm the JMU class of 0406. And today we have Mrs. Diane Strawbridge, a JMU professional, meeting with us today to kind of talk about her role and her efforts at the university. So I want to welcome Ms. Diane Strawbridge. One, thank you for your time and being willing to meet with us to discuss this. And we have a series of questions. And one of the things that we found just from our communication with the Black Alumni Chapter is that it's not unusual for people to not be as connected to the university because they have not been able to access who's on campus. And part of the college experience is not only your academic major, what dorm you stayed in, where you like to eat at, but really what makes the journey important to everybody and has the biggest impact is the people who are on campus. So this is the JMU Black Alumni Chapter's effort in trying to keep the alumni community connected with who's on campus aside from the students. And our interview today is again with Miss Diane Strawbridge. So welcome, Miss Strawbridge.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And so we're just gonna start off with the question of if you can tell us about yourself and include your educational background as well as your alma mater.
Okay. Well, my alma mater, that one is easy. It is JMU. And I am a first generation student. I am from Virginia, a little small town called Clifton Forge. And actually, I had no intention of going to college at all. Being first generation, there was really no one in my family that had been, and college was not discussed. It wasn't talked about. However, I happened to fall in love at a young age and got married right after high school. And my husband, or soon to be husband at that time, was already a student here at JMU. Actually, it was still, I think, Madison College at that time. So when we got married, I knew about college from him and actually met him because he was going to a community college in my hometown. So anyway, we moved to this area and he decided that I would be going to college. He decided, and I was excited. I really wanted to do that, but I didn't know if I could do that. So that's the kind of long story to my getting here at JMU. So I actually transferred here. I went to Blue Ridge Community College first, and I transferred here. So that was in the late 70s. And I actually graduated 1980 from JMU.
Wow. So you have a big anniversary.
Oh,
this year.
Hey, I'm what they call an OG. So I've been around for a long time. So I ended up getting my bachelor's degree in psychology. And then I just started a family and was mostly a stay-at-home mom. And then I got the opportunity to start working here in 1986.
Okay.
So I've been around a long time. So I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of students from that time frame, 1986, through the present. So I do know a lot of the students in the Black Alumni Chapter from every year, 1986 on through. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And also I'm old. That tells you I'm old too. So yeah, that's how I started. And I worked with a program called the Virginia Student Transition Program. And I know some students are familiar with that program. So that was the beginnings of my life at JMU, my professional life at JMU. And I worked in multicultural student services at that time.
Okay. So now, what is your title currently? And then can you talk to us a little bit more about that position that you're in now?
Sure. My title now is called Executive Director of Student Access and Inclusion. And what that means is I have oversight for two programs at JMU. One being the Centennial Scholars, which a lot of people are familiar with now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been around since 2004. And also the Valley Scholars program. And that's relatively new. That program is starting its 6th year this
Okay.
year, Valley Scholars. And the Valley Scholars program is a program for our local students in our local communities and surrounding areas, from Harrisonburg to Waynesboro and counties in between.
Wow.
So that's what I do. So I'm working with students. I'm working daily with students. That's what I've done all these years, work with students.
Right. So in that position, the Valley Scholars program, you said was in its 6th year, and then the Centennial Scholars program is what year
Is
is this for that?
in 16th year.
16th year. Wow.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
16th year. And I have actually been at JMU a total of 34 years.
Wow.
So I know a lot of students. I've experienced many, many graduations,
Mm-hmm.
many homecomings. It's been incredible. It has been incredible. Just knowing so many students, and now actually meeting students that I've known years ago, their children are here.
Right, right.
So it really is a full circle. It's been incredible for me.
And I think one of the things too that's also interesting is because you've been at JMU for 34 years, you've seen the campus, grow and change.
Yes.
And I think that that's something that a lot of our alumni talk about in our calls or when we have meetings about, is this building still there? Or they come back to campus and they see how much it's grown and how much it's changed. And sometimes there's this kind of like, well, I remember I stayed in this dorm, or this used to be over here. And a couple years ago, it was a big deal about D Hall closing.
Yes.
But I think that because you have been on campus for so many years and you have been able to interact with students, and like you said, now meet your initial students, their children,
Right.
that has a big impact. That helps to create a connection of your initial students saying, like, I know Miss Strawbridge is at JMU, and they know
Yes.
the impact that you had. And it's really about the human connection. I think that what I've been hearing, that really ties people in, like they want to know what people are still here. And that's kind of
Right.
also kind of like what's propelling the Black Alumni chapter to have these conversations with professionals who are on campus, because even though people identify with the buildings and the spaces, they are most closely connected to the people. And I think that that's something that JMU has always tried to highlight, is that the community culture there, or here, sorry.
You're right. And there aren't a lot of people that stay around as long as I have, or as long as
Mm-hmm.
other people have. Some people don't stay around. But it's been nice for me to have had, I think, an impact on some students and some students' lives. And, I love to hear the stories
Yes.
about what people are doing now. I love to hear about, how JMU impacted their lives, and the fact that they're sending their own children here now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot about the experiences that they had and how they want their children to have that experience. Now, it's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
It's still a familiar place. and it's still a place that they love. And I think that's so important.
I agree.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about over these years, just your professional philosophy in your work and like mission at JMU?
Okay. Well, I guess it's kind of a cliche, but I think my philosophy is, at least initially, it was that I wanted to work with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't necessarily know the people would be college age students. I didn't know that initially. However, when I got the opportunity to work here and to work with college age students, it just opened up a whole new world to me. And it created a passion in me to be able to empower students, to be able to advocate for students, to be able to support students, to be able to just be a place where they could go and find a friendly, hopefully a friendly person, someone who could help them, who could assist them. You know, that's what I've tried to do in my career. I've tried to just be that person who hopefully would understand and be able to help students navigate this college experience, because it can be very challenging.
Right.
And many students like me who were first generation, you just you don't have that capital. You just don't have that background. And oftentimes you don't have people you can go to, and particular family, they don't know. And they
Mm-hmm.
want to help, but they don't know how to help. So I've just
Mm-hmm.
tried to be that conduit to help students navigate, feel like there's somebody they can talk to. You know, I've been called an auntie, I've been called a mom away from home,
Yep.
I've been called probably even worse than that, probably.
No, 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 no.
But those, I don't mind those things. I like that, you know. Those things say it's family. And I like to think of all the students that I've engaged with, interacted with. I like to think of them as family. They're extensions of my family. So that's been important to me.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Okay. And I think that kind of leads into the next question, which is, what has been some of your greatest accomplishments at JMU? And you've had a legacy there now, I would say, considering that you've been there now for 34 years and you've seen some programming transition and you've been able to speak to a certain population of students that are coming into JMU and beyond that particular population. So can you just share some of the things that, or the most proud moments I think that you've been, or that you've had professionally at JMU?
Okay. Well, that question, Tiffany, is easy
Okay, good.
because I don't feel like the accomplishments that I am proud of, I don't feel like they're my accomplishments.
Okay.
I feel like they are the students' accomplishments. So I'm proud of their accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
Every student that is able to successfully graduate from JMU and attain their undergraduate, graduate degree, or even doctoral degree, that is what makes me proud, because I know what that means. I know what
Right.
that can do. I know that how I have experienced how just one person being educated, just one person in the family can just change that whole trajectory of the family. I've seen families, I've seen students coming to campus. I've seen parents who decided to go and get their GED.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen parents who wanted to further their education. I've seen siblings who wanted more from their lives. So education is the key. It's the way out of poverty. It's the way um, to move up the ladder. It's the way to level the playing field, especially in the times that are the things that are going on now.
Right.
Education is becoming even more important. So my greatest accomplishments would be seeing our students succeed, seeing them become successful. You know, every time I get an email from a student who tells me, Mrs. Strawbridge, I got into med school. Ms. Strawbridge, I just got my doctorate.
Yeah.
Mrs. Strawbridge, thank you. I mean, those are the things that make me proud.
And I think that that's great that, like you said before, you can see that full circle and you can see that continued progression and that elevation and how education can literally change a family. And it could be with the parents and it could be with that student's like future family as well.
Exactly, exactly.
Do you have any particular future aspirations within your position at JMU, particularly maybe with the Valley Scholars or Centennial program? Any efforts or ideas of like how you want to see those programs grow?
Well, I feel that I'm just proud of the fact that Centennial Scholars has been here 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a huge, huge thing. And when I had the opportunity to implement this program, Tiffany, I had no idea really what it would look like, what it would be, who the students would be. All I knew was it would be an opportunity for students, a great opportunity. So I'm just happy we're still here.
Yeah.
I'm happy we're here. And of course, when President Alger came aboard, he has been the inspiration behind the Valley Scholars Program.
Okay.
And now, Tiffany, even with that, our second cohort will be entering college in the fall.
Right.
So we have one cohort here, the first cohort that will
Okay.
be sophomores, and now we have our second cohort here.
Wow.
So that program is doing just fine. It is growing. The students are great. So the next big thing would be when our first cohort graduates,
Yeah.
which would be 2023.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the next big thing. So we're excited about that. And of course, unfortunately, there are limitations to what we can do. There are budget constraints.
Right.
You know, we just don't have all the money that we wish we could have. But we're grateful for what we do have. And of course, Valley Scholars depends mostly on grants, donations, and things of that nature, gifts from interested constituents.
Okay.
So that is big. People giving because they feel that this program is worthwhile and they want students to have an opportunity. So we've been really, really fortunate. Centennial Scholars, you know, right now we have, I think, over 750 students.
Wow.
Over these past 16 years that have completed JMU, graduated with the financial and academic supports from Centennial Scholars. And we're proud, you know, of everything that we've done. So, you know, I can't complain.
Yeah.
Cannot complain. You know, it's always nice to have more money, but who doesn't want more money?
Right. Right.
Right?
Right.
So, and the support. You know, the university has been so supportive too. And so because I know a lot of schools would love to have some of the programs that we have. And I feel fortunate that we have programs that have started from the top down, from the residential level down. And when you have that kind of support at the top, I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot easier.
A lot easier, absolutely. Absolutely.
And decisions can get made a lot quicker from the top down.
Right, absolutely, right. So, you know, all the way around, I just think that, you know, I just think I've seen full circle. You know, I've seen a smaller program years and years ago that ended. And then we were able to bring on new programs that still supported underrepresented students from lower socioeconomics. And I just think that's just so important. And I always tell students, just because you don't have the money to go to college doesn't mean that you aren't smart enough,
right,
or that you aren't deserving, that you can't do it. You know, not having money is a barrier, but it's not, it doesn't end your life. You have to get out there and find ways. And that's, our students have been able to take that opportunity and run with it. So I'm just happy that we've been able to assist them.
Well, thank you, Ms. Strawbridge, for all your efforts, all your energy that you've been pouring into the JMU community. I know it's a wealth, and I think even this short bit of an interview probably doesn't even touch on the impact that you've had on students and the campus as well. And I just want to say thank you again from the Black Alumni chapter for being willing to talk with us today. And I hope that our Black alumni community continue to reach out to you, continue to contribute to Valley Scholars, to the Centennials program in any type of way that we can.
Well, thank you so much, Tiffany. Thank you all for thinking of me. I appreciate it.
Of course. And you might feel old, but you look good, so don't put the oldness on you yet.
Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you.
All right. Well, I hope you have a great day.
Okay. Bye-bye.
For your time. Bye.
Bye.